Hey everybody, this is Dave coming to you from the Gaming Cave. Today we're continuing our playthrough of Mr. President from GMT Games, the American Presidency, and designed by Gene Billingsley. Alright, so I'm doing the 2001-2004 scenario. This started in year 1, which would be 2001, and phase 3, which we played. So now we're going into activation phase 4. Well, the first thing we do is draw, say, crisis chip. Right, so here we go. Let's get into this. And the crisis chit is, and we're going to have to draw 2 crisis cards. So we'll set that one there. And we're going to come over here to our crisis deck. Right here, we're going to take 2 cards and keep the bottom one face down still. Flip over the top one. -1 public approval. Okay, so we come over here to public approval, move it down from 70 to 68. So I lost a little something there. Place a tension counter on the POTUS cabinet priorities 6-1, and then we roll 1d10. Okay, so we're going to draw a cabinet, and we keep it face down. Yep, and we put that on number 6. So it goes on the bottom priority. So we have our first tension marker now in the cabinet. Okay, we roll 1d10. So let's do that. And we get a 4. 1 to 6. You may spend 2 action points on internal investigation and West Wing firings. -2 public approval if you don't or can't spend them. Okay. So I can spend 2, and I think I will, from 17 down to 15. And it saves my public approval rating, stays up there. And this is a discard. So we'll get rid of it. All right, now we go. Make a presidential prestige check. And I'm going to, just from a press conference gaffe. Great. Okay. So we're going to have to see how to do the presidential prestige check. So let me look that up. All right. So my prestige is a 6. So I roll a 10-sided die. And I need a 6 or less to pass. And I have no modifiers here. And we get a 1. All right, I passed it. So when we pass, we make fun of ourselves for the error. The public relates to your humility, charm, and wit, +1 public approval. So I lost 1, and now I get 1 back. All right, so I'm still at 70%. The public still loves me. And this is a discard. Okay. So this one has a plus sign, so we move down and we draw again for another crisis chip. All right. And we draw 2 crisis cards. Okay, and we'll have to do it again. All right, next crisis card. Got 2 of them here. I'll flip this one over. Okay, this is terror recruitment and training. Roll a d10 for a random region. Increase 1 level 3, 2, or 1 terror group on that priority. Okay, and if there's not one there, we're going to end up adding one. All right, so let's see what happens here. So we roll for the random region, and we get a 3. 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Central America. Okay. Increase level 3, 2, or 1 in that, so 2 becomes a 3. Central America. Okay, if there's a U.S. ally in the selected region, there's not. Must be to make an intel action. Let's choose intel. There's not one there. If there's more than one ally, there's not. Okay, and this is a R. So it goes into the reshuffle pile. All right, second card. This is immediate. EU countries centralize and coordinate anti-terror operations. Okay. Make 2 free intel gathering attempts against any 2 terror groups in the Eurozone, but with a -1 die roll modifier. After those attempts, there is a terror group. If you're in the target fixed box, make 1 level. For the rest of the game, all intel gathering attempts in the Eurozone receive a -1 terror rolls counter. There are, in the Eurozone, there are no, it's actually really mild over there right now, so there are no terror groups, but I will find this -1 intel rolls counter and put that in the Eurozone for future events, and this becomes a discard. Okay, so let me find that counter and we'll be right back. Okay, -1 intel goes in the Eurozone. All right, that's good. Now we come back over and we have a plus sign, so we move down and we draw one more time. See what we get this time. So far, those 4 crisis cards weren't too bad on me. And draw 2 crisis cards. So this is the last time that we have to do this on this particular section. All right, 2 more cards. 1, 2. Border skirmish in India. Roll a d10 to determine which nation was involved. Okay. We'll get a 1. Okay. So we get a 1. China. Increase India's conflict track with that country by 1 box. We don't have a conflict going on with that one. Oh, no. I know what they're talking about. So we come over here. We have India, China. Right here. We move this conflict status up to a 2. Place 2 tension counters on India and 2 tension counters on China. Okay. So we got to draw tension counters. 2 for India. They have 1. And 2. Now we need 2 for China. 1. And 2. Okay. All right. +1 regional crisis in Central South Asia. So we just got that almost down to 0. Now it goes back up to a 2 again. Constantly having to work over there. All right. And this is a discard. Next. Okay, here we have Congressional Gang of 7 from your party pushes controversial education reform, mass teacher protests. I actually have that bill up there too, I do believe, for education reform. Okay, well, first thing we get -1 public approval. So we drop to 68. Next thing we get, place 1 tension counter on POTUS cabinet focus. Okay, so we're going to get a second tension counter. All right, this one goes on number 5. That's up there with improved relations with Congress. Okay. All right, choose to support or oppose the reform. Support, I get +1 party relations. I roll a d6. I could lose public approval. A 4 or higher, I get +1 domestic crisis. Or oppose, -2 to my party relations. Roll a d6. But my relations with Congress could go up. My public approval could go up. Media relations, all those things could go up. Bill number 4, education reform, in the 0 pending box as if you support, or opponents. If you oppose legislation, move education reform to number 1 public priority. Okay, so we have a lot going on there. I already have the bill in there that I support it. So if I stay here, I support it. Education reform is actually there. It's going to go to the top. And let's see. Well, I support the education reform because I've already put the bill in, so I'm going to keep that. Just makes sense. I did my tension count. Okay, roll a d6. Here we go. And the d6 is a 3. Okay, and a 3 is -2 public approval. So the public is not happy with me. I'm down to 64 for that one. Okay. In the 0 pending box, it's already there as mine because I support it, and move education reform to the #1 public priority. So I have education reform here. So this drops, this drops, this drops, and it becomes #1, education reform. All right, and then this is a discard. Okay. All right, we did both those cards. We're now at any 3 actions. So I can take any 3 actions that I want right now. So let's see, where's my cabinet at? The cabinet is still improving. I have a chance to get them to move up 1 level with the president. He's going to try to corral that cabinet again. It costs me, I'm going to spend an action point and get the extra modifier. So I get a -1. I'm going to have a -1 for the domestic rating of my chief of staff. So that's -2. And I got to add half of those, so that's +1. So it's only a -1. Wow. Okay, on table D2. So I come over for my domestic charts, and table D2 is on the page 2 right here. We're doing cabinet improvement table. We're going to roll a 10-sided die. No, we roll a 6-sided die. I think I rolled a 10-sided before. It's going to be -1. Okay, so we have a chance here. I think I've been rolling that wrong. All right, here we go. Oh, I got a 4. -1 is a 3, and a 3 is no change, of course. Okay, well, we had a shot there with the president. That didn't work out. All right. Let's see, we're going to do diplomatic action. Let's see. I've gotten Central America down pretty good. I'd like to get this Central South Asia back down 1. Or I could go after these terror groups. Let's do that. So, I can take a military action. We're going to do intel gathering. So the 2 groups are taking on are those 2 right there. And we have to roll a D10. And there's a U.S. intel advisor in the area, and I have a focused national intelligence, so it's a -2. I need a 4, 1 to 4, and it's -2. 6 -2 is 4. Okay, so I got that terror group went up. I get to try the other one. He is 8, so no effect on him. Now, my second action I'm going to take is perform a strike or a raid. So we're going to have special forces here. They're going after that terror group that's targeted. Okay, so We do this on WM2. So this is our world charts. WM2 is a SOF raid. That's on page 9. 9, here we go. SOF raid, die roll modifiers. We have a US Ops and a US Intel, it's -1. We're focused national intelligence, -2. The target level is a 2, so no modifier there. Combined total 3 or higher, nope, there's 2. So I have a -2 on this die roll. We roll a 10-sided die, a -2. 3 minus 2 is a 1. Let's pull that out. That's a 1. Major success, survivor scatter, decreased territory group by 2 levels. So that means we eliminated that terror group. It's gone. All right. Got rid of it. Increase our public opinion by 1. Go back up to 66. Okay. Move terror group to the gathering box. Use captured intel to make an immediate intel attempt against one other terror group in the region. All right. So we're going against that one. We're going to try to get him again. Again, I was -2. I need a 1 to 4. I got a 5. -2 is a 3. So he's now located. I've got him in the locating section. All right. Keep these guys under pressure over there. Yeah. Okay. That's my 3 actions. Okay. Come back over. And we have, take that off. We have core support right here. A core support check. All right, during this segment, adjust your public approval rating according to your core support number on the party relations track. I have a 4 on my party relations. Move your PA rating up or down the number of boxes equal to your core support rating. All right, so I'm all the way back up to the top again. So I'm back to 70. Keeping those party relations helped me there. Okay. Now we have terror or chaos. Okay, so we got to roll. D10. This one is a 3. And a 3 is terror. That's WT1, I do believe. WT1 or WT2. It's back on our world charts. TerrorX, page 20. All right, TerrorX. So we're here, page 20. We have a TerrorX table. We're going to have all the following 3 themes. Increase the regional crisis in any region containing a rogue state by 1 box. Increase the regional in any region containing a rogue state. Okay, so we're looking for rogue states. So none there, none there, none. This is Iran. That's not a rogue state. None. What's he got here? There's a rogue state. So Central South Asia just went up to 3. Okay, nothing there. No rogue states. Nothing. That was it. Okay. Consolidation of networks. In each region where there are at least 2 level 1 terror groups, remove 1 set of them and replace with 1 level 2 group. If the 2 terror groups are on the intel track of the region, put the level 2 on the lower box of the 2. Okay, so we're looking for 2 level 1 terror groups. There's a 1 and a 2. There's a 2. There's a 1 and a 1. So, okay. Let's see. If the level 1 terror group was on gathering and the other one was on locating the new level 2 in the gathering box. If it's in the intel box and the second is in the region, it goes back in the region. So these guys become a level 2 group and now they're just in the region again. So I lost track of them. Here I have a 2 and a 1. Okay, so this one comes out of locating, becomes a level 2, and that one comes off. Here I have a 1 and a 3. They don't do anything. I have a 1, I have a 2 and a 3, and I have a 1. Okay. Now make a Terror X roll on the Terror X table below. +1 per level. Okay. If there's a rogue state on the map, export terror. Roll a d10 to export terror. Okay, here we go. We're going to roll. This is a d10. And it is a 3. New terror groups. Create a level 1 terror group in 2 random regions. Okay, so here we go. We got to create 2 random regions. So here we go. The first one is region 3. It's a level 1. Region 3, of course, is back down there in Central America. The second one is in 10. And the 10 is 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, oh, 10, Asia Pacific. So they just picked up a second terror group. Okay. All right. And that takes care of make Terror X. If there's a rogue state on the map, export terror. Roll a d10 to export terror as follows. So we had a rogue state here in Central South Asia. So we're going to roll a d10. This is 7. Get out of there. So they have a 7 over here. Okay. So if there's a 5 to 8, so if there's a rogue state on the map, export terror. The United States is if there's a level 1 or level 2 terror group in CONUS, there is, randomly increase one such terror group by 1 level. Otherwise, add a new level 1 terror group to the U.S. Randomly increase. Okay, so we don't know which one, so we're going to roll. 1 to 5 is the level 2. 6, thank goodness. So he went to a level 2 now. Okay. Place 1 -1 AP on Russia and 1 -1 AP on China. So I have these counters. 1 on Russia, 1 on China. Okay. That completes that. Now we go to Ally Rogue Group X. So we have 3 down here. We don't know which one we're going to get. I'm going to shake them up. And we're going to draw one, and it is C, Charlie. And the other 2 go back on the board. All right. So this one's going to be Rogue Group C. Put him up here. And we got to get our table. WA1 and WA4. All right, here we go. Ally and Rogue States. And we're doing Charlie. This is B. And so we go to C. So Group C is Australia, Israel, India, and Rogue. Okay, these allies act only in their regions. So we activate Australia. Okay, so let's come back over. So Australia is here. So they are in a very close, so they get 2 actions. All right. Possible joint actions. Intel. Locate any terror group in the region. Choose terror group, then place the group in the gather intel. Well, they're both level 1s. Nope, we have a level 2. In the gather intel, or if they were already, yeah. So he becomes a locate. All right. Can only do that once. Second one, raid. Make one SOF raid if they're in the target fixed. Well, they're not. Okay. Attempt to stabilize the region. Roll a d10. Okay, so we're going to roll a d10. And they get a 1. All right. And a 1. Roll a d10. -1 if regional crisis is 0. It's not. On a 1 to 4, increase stability by 1 box. So our stability is now up to a 7 there. Ooh, that's nice. That was nice. Okay. So that's our 2 actions. We then flip any tension counters, which we don't have there. We make a D10 unilateral action die roll. Okay, for Australia, that's here. We do a no tension counters, that's -1. Level 3-4 terror groups, none. Plus, if 3 plus tension counters on China, yes. So that's +1, now we're even. Current wars, including U.S. forces, there's 1. So we're +1 to this die roll. And they get a 6. +1 is a 7. Anti-terror campaign. Reduce 1 level 3, 2, or 1 terror group by 1 level. So this 2 has now become a 1 in the locating box. Very nice. Australia did their work. Okay. Now we do Israel. Israel sorry, trying to get my camera over here. This is Israel here. They are very close, so they get 2 actions. All right. Intel. Locate any terror group in the region. Then place that group in the gather intel, or of course they move up. So he's going to move up to targeting now in the Middle East. Yes. Raid. They can make a raid against 1 terror group, target fixed. I have an intel and a special ops. So I would go to my focused SOF raids, page 9, and check my modifiers here for this raid. Okay. Said join ops, so it's going to be a -1. I have a focused intel, -1. UK, -2 if it's a UK NATO or joint ally raid in Eurozone, no. Oh, -2 if it's in Israeli, that makes it -4. Level 2, combined total of 3, Russia in or base in the region. No. So this one is a -4 die roll, and it does not limit me. Okay, so we roll a d10. Oh, a 9. -4 is a 5. Success. Decrease the terror group by 1 and move them back to gathering. So he goes back to a 1 and he's back in gathering now. Good job, Israeli. Did their job. Okay. That's the end of the Israeli joint actions. Now we do let's see. joint actions, raid, attempt, all that stuff we did. When finished, flip over the tensions. Okay, so we have a bunch of tensions on Israel. So we're going to flip them over. There's one more. We have a lot. Woo! There were 6 tensions on there. Reveal their values. Make a D10 unit referring to Australia unilateral action. Israeli unilateral. Okay. +1 per tension value on Israel. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. +6. +1 per Iran influence. There's 2 there. That's +8. +1 if a rogue state. Nope. +1/2 roundup status value for the Iranian nuclear missile program. That's a 2, so that's 1. Now we're +9. Half rounded down the current status of Israel-Iran. Israel-Iran is a 1, so that makes that a 0. +2 if Israel at war on the Middle East rogue has WMDs. Oh, no, they do not. Okay. So, I think we were +10. And we rolled a 10, so it's going to be as high as it can get. Strike Iran. Decrease Iran nuke track by 1 box. Set up air missile war with Iran. Iran gets surprised. -1 to Middle East regional alignment. +2 to Middle East regular crisis. So Israelis just went to war with another country, Iran. Okay. All right, so I got to set this up. So I'll bring you over here, but I'll get everything set up here on another Iranian or another Israeli war here. All right, be right back. Okay, so we have war number 3, Israel, Iran. Israel strengthened an air missile war is 6 and Iran's is 3 according to their table. Over here we put war 3 by Iran, and we took regional alignment down by 1 and crisis level moved up by 2, which now makes it a 4. Okay, so now we got to do another table here. We're getting a lot going on here just to get through this. Okay, so we're on the regional crisis breaks out. We get a -2 public support. First thing. All right. Next, roll a D10, apply the result below, then move the regional crisis back to the 2 box. Okay, so we're going to roll this. And we got a 9, which I don't like probably. Let's see, die roll modifiers. If stability 6, 7, 8, it's not. +2 if it's 3 or 4. It's a regional stability is a 3, so that's a +2. -1 per very close ally. Well, I have 1. So I went from +2 to +1. +1 per non-ceasefire civil war. Don't have any there. +2 is at least 1 war other than civil war. There is. So now we're +3. +1 per game created rogue state in the region. Nope. Okay, +3. I rolled a 9. That makes it a 12. Decrease regional stability 1 box. Increase the highest level terror group in the region by 1 level. Well, the stability is already at the bottom. This guy goes from a 2 to a 3 now. Okay. If there is a U.S. ally in the region, decrease 1 ally relationship determined randomly. If more than 1 ally in the region, 1 level. Okay, so we have to. He's already estranged, so I would say Israel has to become close now. So we pull that off. We'll make it close. Okay. Now we roll a D10. and we get a 5. And a 5 is add one add one China influence, possible refugee crisis. See note. So we add a China influence. And I've been forgetting to add those. So China influence, I'm just going to do it real quick. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, so I had not done anything wrong there. So I moved that up. Russian influence, well, I do have 1 there. It should be there. 1. Yep, that's it. Okay. And possible refugee crisis, see note. If the region is the Eurozone, it's not. If it's Eastern Europe, Africa, or Middle East, the expanding crisis creates a flood of refugees fleeing to Southern and Western Europe. Make a stability check for the Eurozone. Okay, the stability in the Eurozone is a 6. So we're going to roll D10. 6 or lower, we'll pass. 3. Okay, so the Eurozone gets a 3. Pass. +1 to Eurozone regional crisis. +1 to the Eurozone regional crisis. So it went up 1. Refugees pouring in there. South Central, if the region is central. Okay, so that took care of that. All right. Now, I got to go back. All that happened. So, we have 6 tension markers. We take these off, and we're going to bring 3 back. So, we drop all these into the mix. So, Israel goes from 6 down to 3. There's 1. 2. And 3. Okay. So 3 tensions. Right. That's not the end of this, because now I have to do India. All right, so now we activate India. India is estranged. Okay, estranged is 0 joint actions, so we don't do any joint actions. So now we roll on the unilateral India action table. India has 1 tension, so they get a +1. Let's see, level 3, there's a level 3 group there, that makes it +2. If India-China conflict status is greater than 2. India-China, no, it is 2. No modifier there. India-Pakistan. India-Pakistan is also a 2. Okay, so no changes there. So this is a D10 +2. 5. +2 is 7. Train Egyptian counter-terror units. Reduce 1 level 1, 2, or 3 terror group in the Middle East by 1 level. Oh, good. That level 3 becomes a 2 now. So it went up, and now it came down. That's good. Right. Okay, that's it for the India. They had 1 tension. Flip it over, it was a +1. Remove all tensions with half rounded down, so India has no tensions on them now, so they got rid of that. Now we go to the rogue state action section below to determine what actions each game created rogue state performs immediately from highest to lowest level rogue state. So the only rogue state that I know about is here in Central South Asia. Okay. So we do Israel. Now we're at rogue state actions. Perform the process below for each rogue state. If it is at war, it is. Do only A. Roll 1d10. Okay, so we're going to roll a d10 for this rogue state. And it's a 9. And a 9 is no strength increase. So the war didn't get any strength increase from the rogue state in the Middle East. Oh, that's good. Or I mean in Central Asia, I'm sorry. No war, no strength increase. Also, if the current war type is combined air-ground, and if the rogue state is not winning, roll a d10 on a 1 to 5. Well, we don't have, it's neutral still. We haven't done any of the war status yet. Okay. Final thing we do now is check unstable states. So final action, check unstable states. Roll a d10 for each unstable state counter in the Middle East and Africa. And we'll see what happens. Okay, so in the Middle East we have an unstable state. We roll a d10. If the region's stability is less than 5, we add 1. We add 1. It's a 5 plus 1 is a 6. And a 6. Keep unstable state on the map. Okay? And now Africa also has an unstable state. And its stability is a 4, so we add 1 to it. It gets a 9, makes that a 10. Uh-oh. 10. Flip unstable state to civil war side. Ooh, they have 2 civil wars going on now in Africa. Okay. And that is the end of the rogue state portion. Now we go to UN acts. All right. So a UN action. Every time the UN is eligible to act, it will automatically take the following 4 actions. Okay, so 1. Humanitarian aid. Attempt in the world region with the highest regional crisis value. Resolves ties randomly. This represents the world body acting together to alleviate suffering. So we need the one with the highest regional crisis. So there's a 1. There's a 1. Let's see. Oh, we have a 3. 2, 2. So it's in Central South Asia. Roll a d10. If the result is 1 to 8, the action is successful. We reduce that. So come on, 1 to 8. It is 8. Wow. The UN was successful. We reduced that down to a 2. Nice. Okay. 1. Infrastructure aid. Attempt in the world region with the lowest current stability. So we have a 1, 2. Oh, that 4 after I did that dropped to a 2 again. A 1, and a 1, and a 1. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we'll roll, we'll count them, we'll go clockwise. Oh, a 1. So we start with the Eurozone. Okay, so the Eurozone gets infrastructure aid. The result is 1 to 5. Well, no, I haven't resolved it yet. Okay. So he needs a 1 to 5. 2. All right. Eurozone received +1 stability. So his stability went up. Oh, you know what? I got to redo that. I was looking at crisis. I should have been looking at stability levels. So the one with the lowest stability is definitely the Middle East. Attempt in the world region with the lowest current stability for infrastructure aid. Yeah. So their stability goes up from 3 to 4 now in the Middle East. That's where they put that at. All right. Youth empowerment. In the lowest stability region that contains a level 2 or 3 terror group. So he's a 4, he's a 4, he's a 4 with a level 2 or 3 terror group. He is a 3, he is a 2, he is a 2. So it goes to these guys. Roll a d10, 1 to 5. So we roll, we need a 1 to 5. 5! Hey, UN's being very successful today. Okay. Decrease 1 level 2 or level 3 terror group. So he goes from a 3 down to a 2. That's nice. Okay. All right. Now. Oh, wait a minute. There was him and Africa. Both had a level 3 in them. Okay, let me roll. A 1 to 3 stays with Central America. Oh, it goes to Africa. So I'll put my level 3 back on here. And Africa's level 3 becomes a level 2. Okay. And last, peace talks in a civil war. Choose one civil war or civil war ceasefire in the region with the lowest stability. Make a brokered peace talks column of the Civil War resolution brokered peace chart below. Brokered peace charts. Okay. So, with the lowest stability, he's a 4. He doesn't have a civil war. He's a 4. He has a civil war. He's a 4. He's got 2 civil wars. He's a 4. He's got, so 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1. Central America. Okay, now we roll. They have a civil war. We roll a d10. If it's a UN action, or if you spent 1 AP or UN goodwill. Nope, but it is a UN action. It's -1. Stability is less than 5. It is, so it's even again. Counter beneath the Civil War. There's not. Okay, so it's a straight up roll. And it is a 2. Very nice, I think. Ceasefire. Replace civil. So we rolled on this Civil War resolution broker peace chart. 2 or less. Ceasefire. Replace Civil War counter with Civil War ceasefire. Decrease regional crisis. Okay, so this Civil War became a Civil War ceasefire. Decrease regional crisis by 1 box. So it just dropped to a 0. That's really good there. Place UN regional peacekeepers under the CW ceasefire. Remove an Iranian. There's not. So a UN peacekeeper. I think they're over here. UN. Yep. So it's on the back of this counter is region. We put that under the ceasefire. They're the ones that are trying to keep the peace there. Okay. Okay, then we can do U.S. initiated UN actions. We did the UN action. After the automatic UN actions, you may choose to perform up to 2 U.S. actions if you spend 1 AP to get 1 action, and or a UN goodwill counter if you perform 2 actions, 2 different actions. You have to perform the same action. Okay. So we can spend sanctions, place UN sanctions on North Korea, Iran. De-escalate a level 3-4 conflict track by 1 level. Attempt to end the civil war. Okay. So, if you spend 1 AP to get 1 action, and or a UN goodwill counter to get 1 action, you may choose to perform up to 2 US initiated UN actions. If you perform 2 actions, they must be 2 different actions. You can perform the same action twice. All right, so we have to spend an AP down here. So let's move over just slightly, bring the camera down. So I got to spend a AP down to 13, and let's see. Decrease a level 3-4 conflict track. Or we could try to get another civil war reduced. Or we could try a peace in a major war. 1 to 3. That has 3 stars on it. Can't be used to end a war involving the U.S. unless you approve. For wars involving Russia or China, use the die roll modifier. But we could try to get... Well, I'd like to have that peace right there with the Taliban, but I expect we're going to be fighting it. I'd like to de-escalate civil war. I think we'll do the civil war peace talk. We're going to try for that again. We did that one. Now we can try Africa and see if we can get one of these de-escalated. Let's see. Or if I spent 1 AP, okay. So it's going to be a -1. I could go after that same one that they just did. It's a ceasefire. Move it to permanent peace. That would be nice. Civil War. Yeah, let's do one in Africa. -1. Stability is going to be a +1, so we're even. There's no Iranian influence. All right, so this will be a straight up roll for Africa. We got a 10. That's bad news, I think. Fighting intensifies plus a refugee crisis. +1 to regional crisis. It goes up to a 2. Then refer to the possible refugee crisis on the regional major crisis table, WD1. We come back over for our refugee crisis. So we roll. This is Africa. And our, let's see, East Europe, Africa, or Middle East. And make a stability check. It's 4 or less. Hey, we got a 1. We passed the stability check. +1 to the Eurozone regional crisis. So they went up to 2. So they're getting the refugees. They're not happy about that, I'm sure. And determine the results. Okay, that's the end of that. That's the only action we're taking. We're not having very good luck here on that. Okay. All right, so we're done there. We move down here to 3 domestic actions. All right, so I have to take 3 domestic actions. So the president is going to try to corral the cabinet. He's going to use one action point, dropping to 12. And he gets -1 for that. -1 for his domestic rating of the chief of staff. And +1 for the 2 tensions. So we will be at -1. This is on the cabinet improvement table. Right. So we roll on D2. Yep, cabinet improvement table. And we are -1. We roll a D6. Oh, 0. That's going to be good. Improving. Place improving counter on cabinet. Okay, because I already have one, I believe that's how he moves up a level. So he goes up from 4 to 5. That comes off. And one advisor becomes experienced. Roll a D6. And it is a 1. And the 1 is Secretary of State. So my Secretary of State goes from being a 110, this is Henry Haynes, to a 110. So no real change there, except he's experienced now. Okay. Right. All right. So that worked out. So the president got his cabinet to be a little better. That'll help us for some things. So now, our other domestic actions. We could have the attempt to stimulate the economy. That would be nice because our economy is improving. We could have our chief of staff work on that. He's a 1 on that. Or we could work on our domestic crisis. That would be nice too. I think I'll have the chief of staff work on the lingering domestic crisis during any activation segment. Okay. Our crisis level is 0. It costs me 1 action. Make a cabinet effectiveness check. Well, we're at a 5. Okay. Decrease the lingering domestic. Okay. If -1, if address domestic crisis is our number 1, it is. So I get a -1 for that. My approval is still at 66, so I get a -1 for that. So I'm -1, -1. I'm at -2. +2 to all rolls representing the heightened difficulty of dealing with a lingering crisis. So I'm a break even. I need a 1 to 5. Here we go. 1 to 5. 3. All right. So we got a 3. Okay. Pass. Decrease the lingering domestic issue track by 1 box. That's nice. Got it down to 1 now. And +3 on our public approval. That puts me back up to 70 again. Well, I just keep my public approval rating high up there. All right. So I get 1 more. Now we're going to try to stimulate the economy. Okay. I can spend 2 APs if I want to for a -2 die roll modifier. So let's see what we have here. This is a state of economy check. Right now it's a 5. -1 if you have awesome treasurer secretary. I don't. -1 if improve economy is part of my number 1 cabinet focus. It's not. -2. So we're going to spend 2. We'll be down to 10 APs now. I get a -2 to this roll. And I'm looking for 5 or less. 4. Minus 2 is 2. So we passed that. So because we're already improving, that should raise us up now to a U.S. economic assistance level. Very nice. Okay. That's my 3 actions. Now we have to draw a crisis check. Okay, here we go. See what happens to us. Draw 2 crisis cards. All right. Here we go. 2 crisis cards. 1, 2. All right. This is oil prices spiked to record highs. Americans outraged at higher than ever gas prices. +1 domestic crisis. So here we go up to a 1 now. -2 public approval. So we just dropped back from 70 to 66. Go down 2. All right. Move energy independence public priority counter to the number 1 box. Energy independence. So I have to, it was my campaign promise. It now becomes the number 1. Okay. Well, I take that back. It was number 5. It now went to number 1. Okay. Public legislation priorities track. Place worsening economy counter on the SOE. So I just got that up, and now it's going to look at worsening. Place worsening. Oh, wrong one. Place worsening. You got to read everything. Place worsening economy encounter on SE tracks for both Eurozone and China. Okay. So Eurozone just went from improving to worsening, and China was already worsening, so there's drops now to stagnation. Okay. Place economy improving counter for Russia. So Russia just flipped theirs from worsening to improving. All right. If China is at posture 1 and relations with U.S. is 3 or greater, China, its relations is at 1, 3 or greater. China requests increased purchases of natural gas and clean energy tech and equipment from the U.S. If you agree to the sale, place an improving counter, economy improving on the U.S. and China SOE tracks. Place a trending on China's relations, +1 legacy point. If you don't agree to it, place a trending anti-U.S. I will agree to this, so my economy now becomes improving. That's good. And China SOE is also improving now. Trying to help them. Place a trending pro-US on China. So this becomes trending pro-US. Legacy points we don't track. And this is a discard. Okay. Whoa. That was an interesting card. Here's the next one. Al Jazeera requests an interview. Choose or accept or decline. Accept. Roll a D10. Prestige. In the Middle East. Results will affect the Middle East, Africa, and Central. Decline. Decrease relations with media by 1 box. Choose to accept or decline. If prestige is greater than or equal to 6, which it is, -1 die roll modifier. Middle East, Africa, and Central South Asia. Okay, we'll accept that. So we're going to roll a d10. I get a -1 die roll modifier. Rolled a 7. Makes that a 6. And on a 6, we get decrease 1 terror group of your choice by 1 level in one of 3 regions. This is Middle East, Africa, and Central South Asia. So, I think in Africa, we need to reduce one of these guys down to a level 1 now. Okay. And that's it. We did get rid of that one. And that chit was a no add-on anyway, and it was in a spot where I wasn't going to add. Now we do war progress. Okay, this is my first time with war progress. So now we're going to see what happens in the wars over here. All right, Civil War. Let's see. For each current war, use the war status sideboard and follow the procedures on WM5. So here we go, WM5, page 15 on the world charts. War progress. This is our first time on all of these. So we had surprise and they had surprise against Iran up there. Okay. What to do? It's a conflict type. We've done all that. World charts. Determine strength for US side. Okay. Determine strength. Here we go. For the US side, total US strength, which I did already. We have 7 and 4 is 11 in our strength. And determine odds. Strength versus defender as an odds ratio rounding down fractions. So I am 11 to 6, makes me a 1 to 1. Determine any applicable die roll modifiers to the ensuing war progress roll. Okay. Roll a d10. And this is on combat table 1, WCT1. Is on page 25. Is in the back. So war combat. This is a combined air-ground war, which is the brown. Okay. Apply, determine any applicable die roll modifiers to the ensuing war progress roll for surprise, type of forces involved, etc. So where are the die roll modifiers? Let me find those. Okay, so I have a -1 to my die roll. We're going to be the brown combined air ground war. We roll a 10-sided die and we'll see what happens here. So our die roll is going to be 5. -1 is 4. 2 to 4. 1 to 1. No move, both 1 loss. Okay, so he goes down to 5. And our UN strength is going to go down to 1. There. Now I'm 10 to 5. The next time I'll be at a 2 to 1 advantage on that. And that would give me a whole nother change. And it would change this table. So we're still in a stalemate. So no real change. All right, now we have the next war is Israel. I put that one on there. That was supposed to be up here. They are at 9, and the Hezbollah are at 4. So they have a 2-to-1 advantage. There was no surprise on this one, so it's a straight up roll. And they get a 7 on a 2-to-1. So 2-to-1 on a 7. No move. Both have 1 loss. If one side is not won, make peace. End war. Both sides spent. Ignore on initial war progress. Okay, so that doesn't do it. Both sides lose 1. So he goes down to 3, and they're down to 8. Okay, now Israel here is in an air missile war. And they are 2-to-1 here, and they have surprise on that one. So it's -1. They're on 2-to-1 on an air missile war, which is this light blue. All right, -1 to their guy. They roll a 2. That's going to be good. -1 is a 1 on a 2-to-1. It moves 1 left, 1 defender loss. Okay, so they go down to 2. I gotta get a 2. So he hit Iran there, and this moves 1 left. Attacking force is winning. Okay. So the Israelis did some damage on that one. They're up to 6-2, which is going to make them 3-1 next time. Which could make them win the war, maybe. Okay. All right. So that's how you do the war. So we did the war. And our next action, back over here. So wars are an abstract, kind of quick and dirty little deal, which is okay. Wars and civil wars. So we have to do civil wars also. Okay, so now in civil wars, make 1d10 roll on the Civil War resolution chart below. All right, for each. Okay, so let's start with this one. We have a Civil War ceasefire, and it has a regional UN peacekeepers under it. So on the ceasefire, it's a -2, and stability is a +1, so it's a -1 to the die roll. Okay, so we go -1. Break this over so we can see the board here. -1, a 3. -1 is a 2. 2 or less, permanent peace. Remove the Civil War ceasefire and any peacekeepers, and decrease regional crisis by 1. It's already a 0. They got rid of the Civil War. That's good. And the ceasefire worked. Okay, we'll go to this one. This one has no UN in there. The stability is less than 5, so it's a +1. Oh, a 1 + 1 is a 2. Ceasefire. Replace this one with a ceasefire marker. This comes off. There's a ceasefire on there in South America. Decrease regional crisis by 1 box. Oh, it went down to 0. That's good. Place UN regional peacekeepers under that. Okay, so the peacekeepers helped out there. They got that civil war stopped. Remove an Iranian influence. There's not one. Okay. Next. Okay, we have 2 in Africa. Here's the top one. And this is going to be a stability's at 4, so it's going to be a +1. And they got a 6. +1 is 7. Fighting continues. Okay, no further effect. Now we'll do the bottom one. Same thing, +1. Oh, 9 plus 1's a 10. That's not good. Fighting intensifies, plus the refugee crisis, plus 1 to the regional crisis. It's up to 3 now. Then refer to the refugee crisis. Give me D1. We come back over. And for the refugee crisis, let's see, we roll. This is from Africa, so they're going to the Eurozone. Their regional crisis level is a 5. Oh, 5 or less. Oh, they got a 4. They passed it. But the regional crisis goes up another one, so it's up to 3. It's getting to be, they're getting in trouble on that deal. Okay. Okay, that's the end of the Civil Wars. Now we go any 4 diplomatic and or military actions. Okay, we got to do some diplomacy over here. We got to help these guys, and some military actions also. So where do I have terror groups? I got them in the U.S. I need to do something with those guys too. Regional crisis. I got to do something there and in Africa, but I really like to start with the Eurozone. Let's see, diplomatics. Crisis relief. So I can send my Secretary of State, and he can do -1, and how's our stability's high? It's 6, so I get -2. So I get a -2. Here we go. Oh, a 1. That's beautiful. So 1 or less. Decrease regional crisis in region by 2 boxes. 1, 2. There we go. Thank you, Mr. Secretary. All right, that was big. Now, I can send the Chief of Staff down here to do the same thing in Africa and see if he can have the same crisis relief. But he only gets he won't get any modifiers. That's going to make it much harder to get it. But if I can get it to go down by 1, that's what we're going to do. So he's going to take his in Africa, and he's going to, he needs a 2 to 6. Well, 1 to 6. He gets, ooh, it's a 6. No modifiers. A 6, decrease regional crisis by 1 box. We got it back down to a 2. Okay. So we spent 2 actions of our 4 right there. Now we got 2 more actions to take. All right. My Chief of Staff can do another action. And he could try to improve one region's alignment. Or attempt to remove Chinese or Russian influence counter in one region. Make a trade agreement. What else do we have? Decrease tensions. Broker or offer peace. De-escalate a conflict. Well, I could send the Chief of Staff. And decrease tensions. Reduce tensions on an ally, rival, or rogue state. One action. Any ally, remove up to 2 tensions. So I think we're going to try to help get our tensions down with Israel. So the chief of staff's going there. We're going to roll a D10. China, Russia, Iran, or North Korea. Oh, procedure. So I have to do it on these guys. So we need to do this with China. I can spend 2 action points. It's going to drop me to 8. And Secretary of State's not doing this. For China, Russia attempts the rating on China or Russia's relations. So this is a 0. Okay. So I get a -2. Here we go. -2 on China. We got a 6. -2 is a 4. Oh, success. Remove 1 tension counter. So we'll take a tension off of China. Okay. I got one more action to do. De-escalate a conflict. 1 conflict track. Or attempt to remove a Chinese or Russian influence counter in one region. I could have my vice president do that. He could try to get China out of the Middle East, or there. Yeah. Okay. Choose a region with a regional alignment 7, 8, or 6 if it's in 0. 6? Nope. Oh, I don't have one that I can do it in. Yeah, they're not up there. Okay. Oh, man. Increase tension. Summit with China or Russia. Choose China or Russia if China. Follow the procedure for the China summit. Let's try China again. WPC2. Oh, I don't want to do that. Okay, so we're going to be back to impose sanctions. Russia. Choose the target country or Iran. I want to sanction Iran. Oh, it may not already have sanctions, and so does Korea. And there's not really a reason to do that. Wow. Decrease tensions, de-escalate a conflict. Prevent a war from breaking out. Okay. You could try to do that with them and Hezbollah, but they're going to beat them. I want to beat them. Okay. Can do another crisis relief with the vice president. He hasn't done anything yet. He would be a 0 modifier. He could go to crisis. Be nice to get the Middle East down. See if we can get that level to drop down again. So no modifiers. Here we go. 6. A 6 is decrease regional crisis in region by 1 box. Okay, so we got it to go down 1 more. Okay. That's the end of that. Now we do U.S. SOE impact. Perform the following 2 steps. Perform the number of economic assistance acts allowed by the current as shown on the box to the left. I have a 2. For each economic assistance act you are allowed, you may perform either of the following. Improve an ally relationship by 1 level. Place a trending pro-U.S. counter. Well, with OK, we're going to improve India so they're not estranged anymore. We're going to bring Israel back to very close. That's my 2 acts. Okay. Update the game state as noted in the box to the right of the current on the game board, potentially gaining or losing public approval, APs, or improvement worsening relations with Congress. I get 1 public approval and 1 AP. So my public approval goes back up to 68, and I get an action point. Puts me back to 9. Okay. That's that for that. Now we're back to final activations. Draw 1 chip. Okay, here we go. Good old crisis chits. This first one is draw 2 crisis cards. Okay. Here we go. 1, 2. First one. BPC think tank hosts major political summit to foster bipartisanship in Congress. You are invited to attend and deliver the keynote address. Choose to accept or decline. If I decline, I lose. I gain party relations. My party relations are very good. Except -1 to my party relations. I'll drop them to 7. Roll a d6 and subtract 1 if you have either orator or respected by Congress. I don't have either one of those. Roll a d6. I got a 2. Your speech and your presence inspire. Remove 1 opponent from Congress and replace counter in draw cup. So we'll take off the moderate. Move bipartisan co-op right by 1 box. Well, it's already there. And +1 to my relation with Congress. It's already as high as it can be. Okay. And this is a discard. Next. Fed to raise interest rates. Great. Make a state of the economy check. So mine is 6. So I got to roll 6 or less. 7. Crap. 7. Place a worsening economy and -1 on my public approval. So I was improving, but now it's worsening, thanks to the Fed. And my rating goes down to 66. Make a relations with Congress check. Okay, I'm at 8. So I got to roll 1 to 8. Oh, 9. Failed both of them. Failed. Contentious congressional hearings highlight rising star among the opposition. Draw a new political opponent and place in the opponent box in Congress. And this is a reshuffle pile. Okay. So we have our opponents. And it is Estelle Lamb, radical. Okay. Got rid of 1, picked 1 back up. All right. That's those 2. I got to draw again. Here we go. This one is good times. Let's see what that means. Good times. Roll a D10 on the good times table, D15. It's good to be president. D15, page 18. All right, here comes the good times table. There's no modifier here. We just roll, and we get a 10. Interesting. So it's on the back page. So a 10. Visit a school. Visit a local school. Read stories to first graders. Playfully talk back to their teacher, then serve your time out standing in a corner to a gleeful audience of students. Play foursquare on the playground. Compete valiantly but lose at dodgeball. Finish your visit with a brief meeting with the school's teachers. Thank them for their service, their patience, and their commitment. +1 public approval. I'm back up to 68. +1 media relations. Back up to a 7 there. Add a new friend in Congress, representing a new friend from this school's congressional district. Okay. So here's my friends. And it is Radical, Sarah Riley, and she's a +2 with the media. So I got 2 of them now. They're +2s. That's good. All right. Now we go 1 to 4 intern. So I think I have to roll here. Okay, intern, roll a D10. If we roll a 1 to 4, we're going to end the turn. 6. We did not. Draw 1 crisis chit, then go to end turn. Okay, so we didn't end the turn. We got to do 1 more crisis. Of course not. I couldn't get that way, could I? Okay, we got, well, draw 1 crisis card. Okay, at least it's only 1 this time. Draw 1 crisis card. This one is Drought in Africa creates famine and a refugee crisis. This is a cascading event. Okay, +2 +2 regional crisis in Africa. Well, that's bad. That moves Africa up to a major crisis now. +1 regional crisis in the Eurozone. Well, good thing I lowered that one. Make an SOE check in the Eurozone. Okay, so we are at 5. So we need a 1 to 5. 4. They passed that check. Okay, fail would have made it worse, but they're good. Okay. Okay, if this was turn 2, then it goes there. So that's it. So this is a cascading event. It goes on to deck 2 now. So we put it in here in deck 2. It goes there. And we have a major crisis now in Africa. And let's see what that means. I think it means, yeah, we have to roll on the WD1. All right. So this is back on the world charts. WD1 on page 2. Regional major crisis. So our public approval drops by 2. We're down to 64. And let's see. They move the regional. So we're going to apply this and then it goes back to 2. It's A1. That's good. I'm going to go ahead and move this so I don't forget. 1, 2. Okay, a 1. Add level 1 terror group. Whew, that's all. Could have been a lot worse. Okay, so the terror groups like it when they have a crisis. Oh, wait a minute. There's die roll modifiers. Their regional was a +1. Yep, let me take that back off of there. May not be that. Stability is a 3 or 4. They're 4. So it's a +1. No allies. No cease. Let's see, +1 for each civil war. So now we're at +3. Okay, so +3. I rolled a 1. That's a 4. Add a level 1 terror group in the region. Okay, so they still get the terror group, but now we have to roll a 10-sided die, and we get a 3. And a 3 in Africa means add 1 Russia influence. So Russia is now influencing. Their marker here goes up to 2 now. Okay, that finished that. All right. So we now move down to intern. Okay, so we clean up. Replace any drawn Russian acts, 2 or China acts, 2 crisis chits in the extra actions box if the corresponding world peer is at posture 1. They didn't have any. Okay. Flip over 4 ally rogue AD counters, randomize them, and place them letter side down. So again, we take these guys, we take these off the board, we shake them all up, and we randomize them. I guess really I could randomize them and then we just put them on the board and they stay that way. So we got to put them this side down. There's 1. Okay, and 2, and 3, and 4. Okay, so I don't know what any of them are. They're all taken care of. Okay, remove all bills in the past and signed bills this turn box to the unused bills box. All bills in the past and signed bills this turn box. So this bill comes back down here now. Can be used again. Move all bills in the past signed landmark bills this turn to the landmark legislation holding box. We didn't have any there. Place a trending anti-U.S. counter on both Russia and China's U.S. relations track. This degrades over time. So pro becomes anti. Pro became anti again. Okay. Adjust public priorities by moving counters up the list from bottom box to top box. Okay, so Social Security. Adjust public priorities from bottom box to top box. Okay, like that. And from counters up the list from bottom box to top box to fill any blank spaces for previous past legislation. Well, we did Homeland Security, so that one actually would not have been on there. Okay, then for any blank priorities that are left, randomly draw. So this would have dropped, this would have dropped. So we need another draw. And it's going to be gun legislation. Becomes number 5 now. Okay. You may change or reorder your administrative legislative priorities. I'm going to leave them Homeland Security. I think I'm going to leave them just like that right now. Okay, consequences. Regional stability impact on security and limitation of growth of terror groups. For each of the 8 world regions, look at the current stability in each region and make the following adjustments to terror groups, unstable states, and rogue states. If stability is 7 or 8, I have anybody that's a 7 or 8. Stability. Yes, I have one. Decrease the lowest level terror group in that region by 1 level. Okay, so he gets removed. All right, so we take 1 off. Okay, don't have any rogue states. Remove 1 unstable state counter. Don't have any. Okay, stability is 6. Nope, here's a, oh, he's a 7 up here in the Eurozone. I can reduce this one to a 1 now. That's the only thing I can do there. All right, now for 6. 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. 6 for stability. Nope, he was a 7, already did him. Okay. 5s. Stability is a 5 here. Wait a minute, his stability was a 6, sorry. Place 1 new level. Oh, he should have stayed a 2. I shouldn't have changed him. Okay, 6. Place 1 new level 1 terror group in Eurozone. If there are any rogue states, there's not. Okay. Stability's a 5. That's here, Eastern Europe. Place 2 new level 1 terror groups. So Eastern Europe gets 2 terror groups. No effect on rogue states. Okay. Stability is a 4. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. Okay, so I think it's going to be the rest of them. We'll start with Central America with a 4. Place 2 new level 1 terror groups. There's a maximum of 5, so they're going to get them. So 2 more. So he gets 1. He gets 1. Okay. And no effect on rogue states. Next guy is South America. This is a in the Eurozone. This is a plus, nothing. It's a 1. Ability's a 6. So stability check. Yeah, 6 or less. 6. So it was a stability check, which is a 6 or less in the Eurozone, which we passed, which means that the crisis goes up to a level 3 again. This drops back down to a 2 in Africa after that. Okay. Unexpected consequences of U.S. military footprint. Flip each U.S. military footprint counter and apply the result in that region. Okay, so I have 2 here. I have -1 to regional stability, +1 to the highest level terror. So my stability went down, and the highest level terror is a 2. He now becomes a 3. Okay. Remove the footprint counters from the board and place them face down in their off-board holding box. Then place new U.S. military footprint in each region to match the number of non-intel, non-air, non-SOF U.S. military units war counters deployed there. Okay, let me take a look at that. Okay, so we deployed footprints here because we have 3. We have a Marine Corps, Army Light. So that was 2. And a war. That's 3. These guys have Marine Corps, carrier, and a heavy army. So that's 3 there for Asia Pacific. Okay, good governance and improving stability for each region that has a regional crisis rating of 0, contains 0 or 1 unstable state counters and no rogue state counters. Increase that region's stability by 1. So 0, 0, 0, 0. Oh, here's one. And he has no rogues or unstable states. So his stability goes up 1. Okay, Central America. He's a 0 on his regional crisis. In South America, he has 1 rogue state. Has 0 or 1 unstable state counter. Yep. His goes up by 1. Not there, not there, not there. Okay. Any region has a regional crisis rate of 1 and no unstable state counter. Either remove any 2 tension counters from the region or decrease any 2 terror groups in the region by 1 level. Okay. So I have a 1 on mine for any region as a regional crisis. I don't think it counts for me. It's got to be one of the regions. He's a 3. He's a 1, and he has no unstable, no tension counters. So we can decrease any 2 terror groups in the region by 1 level. We'll take him down, take him down. Okay. Next guy, he's a 0. He's a 1. He has an unstable state, so I can't do anything there. Nope. He's a 1. He has no unstable state here. I can reduce him, and I can reduce him. Okay. So 3, 0. Okay. And then for any region that has a regional crisis rate of 1 and 1 unstable state counter, remove the unstable state counter. This one comes off. Okay. EU economic stability during each end of turn segment. The Eurozone may impact Eurozone stability if the SOE value is 6 or higher. Increase the Eurozone. If it's 3 or 4, decrease the Eurozone stability. Otherwise, no change. No change. It's a 5. Okay. Agent for peace. If all the following are true, the U.S. and or a U.S. ally is not confirmed. Nope, we're in a war. Changing world opinion. Possible improved world opinion. Check the current world opinion of the U.S. Then survey the 8 world regions to determine how many have a regional alignment rating greater than or equal to 6. So we are at a 7. Okay. And they're equal to the current. Increase that by 1. If at least 3 regions have a regional line 4 or less, decrease it by 1. Okay. 7 or higher. There's a 1. Yeah. Okay. If at least 3 regions have 4 or less on regional alignment. Regional alignment. Nope. 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 So we're not 4 or less. Okay. So no change there. Effects of trade agreements. I don't have any trade agreements. Campaign promises. If you pass legislation this year that fulfilled your campaign promise, plus 3 public approval. If you did not pass such legislation, minus 2. 1, 2. I'm down to 60 now. Keep the administration priority counter in the campaign promise box. You will evaluate your success again after the next turn. Note, if this is the end of turn 4 and you still have not fulfilled your campaign promise, hang your head in shame. Okay. Congressional reaction to your public approval. If your public approval is 60 or higher, it is. Increase RWC by 1. Well, it's already as high as it can be. Place 1 new congressional friend. All right, so we get another congressional friend. They like me because I'm popular with the people. And this one is Radical Milana Tomei. Tome. All right. Okay. As long as your party relation allows a new friend. Oh, I can only have 5 friends. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that's what I have there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's all the friends I can have there. Add new year deck and reshuffle. If this is not, add the next year deck to whatever cards are left in the current crisis deck. Count the cards currently in the reshuffle pile and randomly remove half of them from the game. Add those remaining to the new year deck. Shuffle everything together, and this is the new crisis deck. Okay, I'll do that. Presidential performance evaluation. That's for the sandbox only. Historical scenarios, midterm elections, we're not there. At the end of term 2, we're not there yet. And re-election, we're not there. All right, that's the end. I'll do my deck here in a minute. That's the end of phase 4 of turn 1. So when we come, our next turn, we'll move up into 2002. But quite honestly, we've played, this is such a long videos for this game, just to get through each phase because of all the reading and explanation I have to do. I believe this will be my last video. It should give you a good idea how to play the game because we covered almost everything in phase 3 and 4, including war progress. We've seen war start up. We've seen all kinds of things. All these chits I have to put back in my cup. So hopefully you liked the video. Hopefully you learned something from it. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. And as always, leave any comments and give me a thumbs up. All right. See you guys for the next time.